talk about the wine and talk about the wine.
Welcome to Wine and Art, the show where we talk about everything wine, you name it. My name is Moani. This is Hali'a, and that's Chris.
And today we have a special guest. We have the beautiful Danielle Groff. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
We're so excited. I mean, look at all of this painting. Look at this artwork. It's incredible.
It's colorful.
It is. It makes me happy. Like, I look at it and I'm immediately just blown away and happy. I mean, it reminds me so much of our home.
Yeah.
And
Go for
not
it.
to tread on anybody's toes, because Danielle will be painting
Yes.
for us today.
So today,
Ooh.
from start to finish, I'll try to finish this he'e.
And we're all going to be fighting for it. We're all going to be fighting for who gets to take it home
I'll be
after.
hand fanning it down, so.
And of course, the show is all about Danielle and all about wine and art and the art of making wine. But I'm going to get right into this liquid because that's who I am. I'm dorky about this kind of stuff. And we get to drink, seriously, some of the best wine ever made in the entire world. And it has a lovely tie-in with art. So this is from Chateau Mouton Rothschild. And everybody knows about Bordeaux, right? It's expensive, it's storied, there's a ton of history. In fact, the history goes back to 1855, where they classified growths, basically, like who gets to be the top, who gets to be the not, whatever. 4 chateaux, or 4 different houses, stood alone as the top, where they call them first growths. Mouton Rothschild, the wine that we're drinking right now, did not get to be a first growth, but they were second growth. And that's only because they had a change in leadership, like right before that classification took place, right? So after years of petitioning, complaining, making humbug, people would say, and making art on their label, in 1973, they finally got elevated to that first growth status to join one of the 5. And they had Pablo Picasso commission the art. So every year since World War II ended, basically it was a different artist creating those wine labels. So we have the lovely 1979 label right here, made by Hisao. I'm going to pronounce his name, and I'm Japanese. I'm going to mispronounce his name, and I'm Japanese. But it's Hasao Domoto, and he was the first Japanese artist to be commissioned on the label. And we are drinking the lovely 2001 vintage from Robert Wilson.
Very cool. Are you a big wine drinker, Danielle?
I am. I love wine.
What is your wine of choice?
I love this wine named Josh. It's one of my new favorites. It's a red wine. I love eating it with steak. It's like my favorite.
She has it down.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sorry you have to
steak with
paint
it,
and like
you
not
know.
drink. Please
Oh,
drink
I
up.
get 'em.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Look me in the eye. Look me in the eye.
Cheers, you guys.
You gotta look in the eye, look in the eye.
Yes, we learned that from our last episode with Lanai, that we have to look each
Must
other in
look
the
in the
eye.
eye.
7 years bad sex otherwise.
Uh-oh, no.
Supposedly. Supposedly. I don't know how that's ever bad, but.
I'm trying to do the whole Chris thing where you like swirl it and you're like,
Do I hold it by the bowl?
That's good.
well, I mean,
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so why don't you hold it like this? Like, well, why don't people hold it like
Well,
that?
so one, it's fingerprints, right? So it's like the aesthetics, but like it also has temperature. So this is the
Oh,
best
okay.
glasses have really thin glasses, right? You want really thin glasses. You want unobstructed taste. So yeah, it transfers heat, and you don't want to hold it, make it hot. You'll notice that even though this is a red wine, we're serving it a little chilled, right? And that's kind of the way you're supposed to drink every wine. Room temp in wherever it is, like Europe, is totally different than room temp Hawaii, right?
Oh, I see. Okay, so since you like Josh,
Yes.
if you could pick a flavor that comes out of that wine, what would you use for that as you're painting, and like how would you incorporate it?
Ooh, I love it.
Getting it in with the
Okay.
question.
Getting it in.
I came prepared.
Yes.
Moani did her homework.
Yes. So more of like burgundy colors, some more
Oh.
olive tones, a little
Okay.
bit of maroons and some purples for sure. That's usually like my go-to when I normally drink that one. My palate's kind of based off of that one. And same with certain wines, you know. So even like white wines, I normally use more pastel colors or like green tones. I love the green tones with the white wine.
Is there a lot of drinking when you paint?
Not always, but I try to usually on the weekends. So I don't have my son on the weekends. So that's when mom can drink and paint, you know, have fun with it. But during the week, yeah, no, not as much. A glass every now and then. But.
Well, I know, me and Hali'a were just admiring your painting, and we had a brief moment where I talked to you about, she literally has this painting of 2 elephants, a mama and a baby, and it's so cute. I just, how do you find it? Like, where do you get your inspiration?
So I grew up in, my grandpa was actually an artist growing up. So he did a lot of like still life, fine kind of art. I grew up a lot of fine art around me, but my brain doesn't really work that way. I love color. I have a hard time sticking to just like charcoals and like browns and golds and, you know, so I love color. I always kind of stuck with my own style. My grandpa was really good at just honing in his gifts on me and then letting me kind of translate it in my own way. So I love it. I've always, it's kind of like second nature for me at this point. I've been painting since I was 3. So
So at 3 years old, you're just with your grandpa.
every day. Yeah, he used to
my
watch me
gosh.
5 days a week. So during the week, he would watch me while my dad was working. And then he owned a gallery, but he
I
would at his art
I hate to stop this, but I think we have to take a short break. But
yes.
this gives Danielle time to
catch
catch up with her painting.
do a little
My
bit
painting.
of like.
Oh, you're painting. All right. So when we come back after the break of Wine M, we will see her lovely painting. Also, Wine M is brought to you by Windows Hawaii and the Honolulu Star Advertiser. See you soon.
Welcome back to Wine and, where we are here with the beautiful Danielle Groff. She's over here painting a he'e. I think that is incredible. So you did the white part at home, of course.
Yes.
That is awesome. And now you're just doing the
I
outline.
do the outline, and then next I'll build up the color.
And we get to watch that all in action. And then I'm taking it home. Chris?
Chris, sorry, you lost out.
So when we broke, we were speaking about your family and your
yes.
grandfather. Is there? So we see this in the wine world a lot. Is there? So there's classically trained, and there's like the School of Arts where you need to follow a certain thing. But then
Yes.
having your own identity and expression as an artist, that obviously was something that your grandfather helped cultivate in you.
Definitely. So my grandpa wasn't really big on going to art school. He didn't want me to be put into a box. So I ended up just doing everything from self-learning to literally practicing every single day. And so I love it. I absolutely love it. I never went to school for it. I just practiced a lot and then just went for it.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
And so you've taken your artwork and you've traveled, I mean, worldwide. So what are the places that you've been to?
So I've just done shows Outer Island so far. I've been doing it out here now for about 12 years. I'm still growing though. I did have art sent to the mainland before COVID happened. So I am waiting on a handful of shows all the way from California to Florida and a couple more in Maui and Kauai. So,
Awesome.
But I love it.
Let's get in there. It's going to become worldwide. We feel it.
We're gonna make it
for
happen.
sure.
It's gonna happen.
Have you seen the paintings? They're rad.
We're working towards it.
Well, let's get back to the wine. So you're pouring a prisoner, Chris?
Yeah, so the next wine we're drinking is the ubiquitous Prisoner. I'm sure everybody's seen it. It's everywhere, which is crazy because it started off as like a 300 case brand back in 2000, and it just blew up. And part of the reason why, well, I hope you enjoy the juice because I think it's so easy to love, right? But part of the reason why is that like really cool artwork on there, right? People buy wines based on labels. I mean, most people do, right? And this is actually a based off of an etching that Dave Finney, the winemaker, got of Francisco Goya when he was a Spanish artist when he was like a kid.
So is it also like a collection type of piece because of the artwork and the wine in itself? Like, are there some people that never open the bottle
Oh,
because
for
of
sure.
the wine? Wow.
Well, like the Mouton stuff,
Yeah.
like they're probably $800 a bottle. Yeah, makes me sad spitting it, right? Like now we're like, oh, is there any more back there? And shit like it. But yeah, some people will literally go to the grave without opening bottles, which I think is not very smart. And that's why we're drinking it right now.
I had no idea.
It's all about celebrating, right?
Right.
Celebrating, appreciating where the wine is from,
And just
everything
drinking
about it.
And just drinking it, right? You can't take it with you. So do you taste the difference between the wine that I poured, the Prisoner, and the old world Mouton Rothschild? One's more fruity, one's more earthy. I hope you like it.
What do you think, Danielle?
Both smooth. They're both
Yeah?
very smooth. This one seems like a little bit more fruity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love it.
You're a psalm.
Yeah.
You're a psalm
I love
already.
my fruity stuff.
That's her wine.
So that's the difference between a New World wine and an Old World wine. Right?
like
A
it.
wine from California that's meant to have fruit. That's meant to have like really floral, pretty expressions. A little bit more alcohol, a little bit more in your face, and then
Very
something that tastes like
clean,
the dirt. Right, clean.
Very clean.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Love it.
clean.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So tell us a little bit about New World, Old World. I know these are different types of wines from different places.
Right. So Old World basically is any wine that's made in Europe, right? Because the winners get to write history, and winemaking sort of started in Europe. So Old World is anything that's in Europe. New World, pretty much anything else. So United States, you have South America, New Zealand, Australia, anything that's not Europe. And like you tend to see a lot more fruitier flavors in the New World wine. They're more focused on fruit, the winemakers. It also tends to be a little warmer. So heat, sun, more alcohol, more sugar, hence something that tastes sort of like blueberry pie instead of something that tastes like earth, you
I
know?
was thinking, I was like, it's kind of like blueberries, but I didn't want.
Sure.
No, I promise.
It's easy
Excuse
to
me, the last one I said figs. I
You
can
did.
get super bougie,
You did.
and I did honey. So
And you
let's
only
not
drink
go
out of swan decanters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I'm proud of it.
No, own it, girl.
That's
That was
right.
the only decanter around was the swan. Literally.
What do you like better? Like, what's your preference? Old World or New World?
I like Old World.
Oh, yeah? In this example as well?
Yeah.
Cool. You have expensive taste.
I really, and I've been to France, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I really think that the earthy flavors come out more, and I
Right.
appreciate
It's
that.
it's things other than fruit.
Yes.
Right? It's not meant to be just blueberry or blackberry or florals. It's like dirt.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
well,
it's
we'll
weird.
get back to more about the wine and the beautiful art by Danielle Groff.
My
We have to
beautiful
take a
art.
quick break. Okay, this show is brought to you by the one and only Windows Hawaii, the Honolulu Star advertiser, so make sure you guys get your local news from there. It's also on YouTube.
Welcome back. Before we get into the show, let's head over to Chandra and see what she has for the cocktail of the week.
Thanks, guys. So today we're going to be making the cocktail called Kunia Stargazing, and it's all focused on one of our locally made rums, Kohana, which is made from fresh pressed sugarcane agricole rum made right here on Oahu. I went ahead and I infused this rum with a butterfly pea flower. The infusion takes just a short amount of time, and it gives it this brilliant color. So I'm going to go ahead and get this chilling while I prepare the rest of my cocktail. This is going to be a layered cocktail, so we're going to add the rest of the elements with the simple syrup. A little bit of lily koi, egg whites. This is going to give it emulsification, make it nice and frothy, and then some fresh lemon juice. I'm going to measure the lemon juice so we have the right amount of citrus. Not too sweet and not too tart. The last step in this is adding a touch of Dolin Blanc. This is just going to soften the cocktail. I'm going to give this a nice shake. We're gonna do a technique called the reverse dry shake. Just a little extra step, but it's gonna add to the emulsification of the drink. Just gonna shake it one more time. Finish with our Kohana that's been infused. And the finishing touch, a little bit of Angostura bitters on top. And swirl it in so it looks just like a starry night in Kunia. Kunia stargazing. Cheers.
Welcome back to Wine and Art. We have the lovely Danielle Groff here with us. She's actually painting as we're talking. If you want to show, that is amazing.
So
I just love the pastels and how she mixes the colors and
How do you mix them so it doesn't
Blotchy.
Yeah.
I'm just watching it. Figure it out as you go, okay?
you're inspiring me to go home and practice.
Kind of like
I
building
was just
up.
thinking in my head, like, I can do that.
My girlfriends and I, we'd have wine night sometimes, and we'd paint. And sometimes I'm not so proud of it, but
Oh, I got you, girl.
and I think the wine helps.
The wine definitely helps.
Yeah, helps me be more expressive.
Yes.
Definitely.
Relax.
Yeah, makes me more comfortable to paint.
And then you look
Not
at it
very good
after
at
when
it.
you're sober and you're like, what was
You're
I
like-
thinking?
Now that I think about it, I did do a painting, like a birthday party. There was
Awesome, okay.
wine. I
Yeah.
had to do like this whole tree. During it, I thought I was doing amazing. The next morning, I was like, what is that I painted? I was feeling it. It was not cute, but that's okay.
So obviously you draw a lot from nature, from your heritage, from the Yakima tribe. And how about you? But is there any other inspiration that you have from? I mean,
Emotions, life, right?
so are
That's
you an
kind of
emotional person?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
Okay,
an
because I
artist.
got laughed at because
I'm with you on it.
Cool.
I'm an emotional
We're
person.
empaths.
Yeah.
Really? We
Yeah,
did not
exactly.
laugh.
that's why we feel things. That's why your paintings
We're
are so awesome.
sensitive.
There's a lot of feeling that goes into it. Look at it.
Yeah.
You said you wanted to cry when you're looking at it. Get out of here.
I did. It makes me want to, but I don't, because I hold it in.
I hold it in and move
Controlling
forward.
it.
You know, one of these days life is gonna end, and you're gonna be like, man, I wish I felt more. I wish I felt deeper. Yeah.
That's good. You gotta let it out. You have to let the
Yes.
creativity flow. I mean, I am.
It's a great outlet for anything
Yeah.
in general. Just anyone creating or painting or drawing, or I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be painting. Any kind of creative outlet in general is just great. You know, expressing yourself, getting something to let it out, especially if it's a good or bad day.
So obviously you love it. I mean, it
Yes.
started as a hobby for you more than anything, right? 3
Well,
years old.
it was like natural for me. I think that was one of the few things like my go-to. I wake up, I have to do it. I go to bed, I have to do it before I go to sleep. It's kind of like I just need to do it.
See, that's what I feel about alcohol.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I just
But
need to drink.
my
We
question
already
is,
know
Chris
really
is
good
passion
wine.
very well.
Yeah.
oh, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see
a good
Chris come
balance.
up. So yeah, when you speaking about that, like, how do you balance? Because you love it, obviously,
Yes.
and it didn't start to make money, and now, but you're doing it as a career now.
Not the first, I would say 6-7 years. It's pretty
So how do you-
hard to kind of push past that.
How do you compartmentalize? Like, I do this for me, and I do this because I love it.
I
but
love it. I mean, no matter what, I'm not going to do it for anyone but myself. So
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I'm going to do it no matter what. So it's really, when it needs to catch on, it'll catch on. The right people that gravitate towards it will gravitate towards it. And if they need it, and that's what helps them, beautiful. You know, it's something that I'm going to do no matter what. I just know it. I don't
For
have to,
that long?
Oh,
For-
I'll do it forever. It don't change.
I mean,
I've
for
been doing
like
it since I
15
was
hours a
3.
day, like you
Oh,
have no.
that's nothing. If I could do it a whole week straight, if I didn't have to homeschool, I'd be so happy. But I love it. I'll do it every day.
I
Like,
never thought that I would meet somebody more passionate about anything than I am about booze. But
yeah.
you win.
No, we're 50-50, I think.
Oh,
We're pretty
no.
equal right now.
That's-
So
Got
You got
emotions,
good
got the
taste.
passion,
Yeah,
got everything
there we
going for you right
go.
now, Chris.
do it for yourself only. But this one's for me, though.
yeah,
right?
okay, no.
Welcome back to Wine and so Danielle, I know you're gonna whip up my beautiful painting in like an hour and it's gonna be gorgeous. But
He said that with so much confidence over here.
but I know, like, obviously, like, it takes much longer to create these beautiful
yes.
works of art that you have.
Yes.
About how many do you do a week? About how many do you think you have in storage or at your house?
Yeah, so I try to finish at least like 5 to 10 originals a week minimum.
So 5
and
hours.
then-
Because
No,
it shows
no,
an
no,
hour.
no,
I'm just joking.
It would be like 5 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week minimum to get it done. Yeah, and usually weekends I actually paint about anywhere between 15 to 20 hours a day just to whip them out. It's the only way I can get
That
it.
is insane. So you're
always working.
I'm always
Oh my
working.
goodness, not
Yeah, but I
dating,
love
working.
it. It's
Not
not
dating,
work, you know.
I'm just saying, she's so beautiful. So I'm like,
Not dating, working.
When you paint, do you stand? Do you sit?
I
do
do
you
a
drink
little bit of
wine
everything.
when you paint?
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Yes. Got to
okay.
get it going. Got to get it
Flowing.
You know, flowing. You know.
let's show everyone where you're at
Oh
right
yes.
now. Just all the
so
colors.
we're still building up colors right now.
Oh,
We
that's
got pastel
beautiful.
colors going.
Gorgeous.
Wow. Every time I look at your art, it just reminds I want to cry. I'm like, this is my home. This is Hawaii. And so, how would you categorize?
It's really fun. It's actually a mix of Hawaii, and I'm actually from the Yakama tribe. So my mom's full Native American. So I kind of do a little bit of mix with tribal, some of my stuff from my tribe with a little bit of Hawaii. So it kind of goes really well together. Seems to be synced very well, nicely. So
It
I do
really is.
some native designs in it, and then the rest is just here home for Hawaii.
So it's truly an expression of yourself,
Yes.
everything that you've been through and where
Yes.
you're at now.
Yes, I try to add a lot of my culture into the art, as well as just like I love color. Like
I can see. That's awesome. So
I can't
couldn't even
choose like
tell.
3 or 4. I need a lot of color.
Oh, this is beautiful.
about how long does it take? Like, does this particular piece
So
take?
this board took about 3 months. And that's about full-time 3 months to finish it from start to end.
Don't touch it. I'm joking.
Oh no, you can touch it, feel it. I have a kid, he touches everything he needs to. Touch the paintings, they get texture, girl, they get everything.
So have you gone to Napa or done like
I've always
wineries?
wanted to.
Oh.
That's like my dream. Yes, no I haven't. I have not.
You know,
I've just been working.
the prisoner
We're
that we're
working
drinking right
it.
now, that was the very first winery that I visited in Napa like 10 years ago.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the prisoner
That's
at the
so
time.
good too.
You know what's a sad story? They
Tell me.
bulldozed that. They changed the entire thing around. It used to
Oh,
be an older
wow.
winery, and like that's how important this brand is.
Wow.
And that's how hopefully good the wine is. I mean,
Oh, the wine's amazing.
I'm sucking it up. But.
Yeah.
Smelling and sucking it
So we
up.
gotta go.
Yeah.
When you go to Napa, when you go, not if you go.
Oh
but
yeah,
please
it's
visit.
happening.
Please visit.
Trip.
Prisoner.
Yep.
I'm all about these field trips.
We like field trips, for sure.
We make friends and we go on field trips and we drink wine.
Yes.
That's the goal.
So besides art, what do you love to do? What
Oh,
does
I love
Danielle
anything
to do?
nature. So I'm definitely like, I love to be hiking, surfing, anything outdoors. I love eating. I'm not good at cooking, but I love eating. So I love restaurants and I love good cooks in general. I'm not that, but that's fine.
Well, that is amazing. Thank you
Thank
again
you.
for being on our show to
you
Danielle.
guys
Your
so
social
much.
media, please tell us about your social
so my
media.
social media you can follow. It's Danielle Groff Art.
Okay.
Has a bunch of originals on there. Definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much
You're
for
very
having
welcome.
me.
Make sure to
Thank you,
follow her on
thank
social
you.
media. And then what was your website?
Oh yeah, it's DanielleGroffArt.com.
All right, perfect.
Thank
And then
you,
also, if
guys.
you want to see Danielle's full painting, head over to her YouTube, subscribe,
Yes.
like, and you'll be able to see it.
Talk about the wine and wine and talk about the wine, the wine. Talk about the wine and talk about the wine, the wine. Talk about the wine and talk about the wine, the wine. Talk about the wine and talk about the wine, the wine.
I feel like I can completely relate to you about living your passions. I love music. I love entertainment. Is there any type of music that you listen to while you're painting?
It's a mix.
question.
It's a nice genre. I'll paint to anything. I do love painting to Hawaiian music. It's really relaxing. I do paint to a lot of drum music because it reminds me of home. So, but I like anything pretty much. I do listen to some country, but I don't really focus as well with country music on. So I don't know.
What is it about the country music that
I don't know.
makes you want to dance? Or
No, I don't know. I could never, like, I'll have some friends that really love country and they come to my art studio and if they play it, it doesn't last very long for me if I'm working.
You're like,
change the
okay,
pace real
well,
fast.
either we change it or
Yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
it gets
go.
like, for me, so sad or it's so sweet. But then like, if I'm painting the octopus, I don't want to go through those emotions.
this octopus is not sad.
Yeah, he's not sad. We're making a happy one. We're doing a happy one.
So you mentioned that you have a son.
Yes.
You have a son. Does
Oh,
he
yes.
paint as well?
He
Does
actually
join in?
does. He wasn't a big painter when he was little. So I was okay with that. Like if he was gonna catch on, no matter what, I paint every day. So he's gonna be around it. I think more so the last few years, he knows how much I just love it and like kind of how giddy I get it doesn't matter what time of the day, it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm just so excited when I get to paint. And so I think that alone is rubbing off on him. It's not as like when I was younger, I knew I was really good at a really young age. I knew how to kind of execute a vision really quick on a canvas. For him, it's a little bit harder. It's more of like a joy. He enjoys the process of it, but it's not so much of the visions he's yet getting. And he's almost 7, but he likes it. He's gonna paint no matter what. It's what I do every day. But if he doesn't do it forever, it's fine. But if he wants to learn, I got him.
Start coloring books and just scribbling.
And it's good because it's like really like their creativity, like they have to focus and like.
And it teaches him to like build up paintings too, because it's so, kids are so quick to just want to end it, start to finish. They want an instant result. So for him watching me, especially over the years, it's just all the hard work that it takes just to put into it. And the time and the patience you have to have, because there's so many frustrating parts in painting, And we have a kid too, he touches all my paintings when they're wet. So like, I'm constantly like, and I'm okay with it. Like, I'm very laid back. I'm like, I'll fix it when he sleeps. Oh,
you're so patient.
Yeah, my grandpa was great with me too, though. He was like, I would go touch all my grandpa's art right when it was wet, and he was so laid back.
You just have like a handprint.
Oh yeah, I was like, put me in there. I put my hand like right over the main subject, like his focus point, And I'm like, it's okay. It's all me, Grandpa. It looks so good, It didn't. But they're patient.
You literally put your touch on it.
Yeah, literally. The whole hand's gone.
Fingerprints all over that painting.
Everywhere.
Oh man.
So it's fun. It's great. It's definitely
cool.
That's awesome. And we heard that you also teach.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So I love teaching. I actually was pretty scared about it. In the beginning, I'm not a very outgoing, a very kind of introvert to some extent. So teaching was a little scary for me. Especially because I've never taken an art class. My grandpa was pretty much my only teacher growing up, so I didn't know kind of how to show somebody how to do something. So in the beginning, I was a little nervous, but it was second nature. I think after my first class, I was like, I got it. Like, I got you. Like, I just learned after so many years, so many styles of art and how to help each person kind of get to where they want to get to with their paintings. So I love it. I have a business called Paint Your Paradise, and so I don't do it as much anymore because I'm so busy with art shows, but I definitely love teaching. It's one of my favorite things. And I teach some of my themes, so like nature stuff, turtles, ocean stuff.
You're taking on new clients?
I'll teach you.
I'll teach you the
wine. Yeah, no, I got you. No, I'll teach you from beginning to end. It'll look good. It will look good. I got you.
Oh, I don't think you've seen my.
No, I'm a great. If you're not good at painting, come
terrible.
to me. I like the ones that like don't like it, that don't know how to outline. Don't know. I got you.
Well, like you
That's
said,
easy.
You
I got you.
You love eating, but not cooking.
Yeah,
I love looking at this and talking about it.
I think we
but,
started a relationship.
Yeah, but I can't yeah. Oh,
Family bonding.
That's awesome, though. I think that you can really, really grow from teaching. So give us a little lesson, like a little tip.
Okay. Yeah. So for my students, I usually just come and I bring a theme, and then I let everybody choose their own colors. So even if it's just all the opposite colors, like as you can see, the turtle has a rainbow in it. That's not normally happening, but I'm like, just choose the colors. We'll figure it out as we go. I love that part because everybody has such a different taste with palettes too. So I'll just teach you beginning to end, and we'll build up the palettes, and it's fun.
Everyone has different taste with palettes.
Yes, they do. Everybody likes different colors. Everybody, my dad was more of like he likes black and white kind of stuff. He doesn't like so much color, so he wouldn't be choosing so many colors.
Okay. Well, we're going to have you continue to paint because we might have to wrap this show up a little bit. But let's get more wine topics with you and educate.
And I was talking about art, but like when you said,
gotta let her finish the painting.
Right. No, keep talking to me.
We have subscribers that want to see.
That's true. It's so
what
funny.
Are some of the restaurants that you have worked with or done collaborations with?
I'm caught all over the place, but I grew up in Vino with Chuck Furia, Master Sommelier. Alan Wong's was my next stop. I opened Senya, the restaurant downtown. and have friends all over the industry, right? Like I'm not a restaurant person anymore, but whenever I get the itch, I just call somebody and they're usually happy to accept free labor. But the cool thing about this is like, is there any subject that mirrors wine more than art? Right? Like you said, everyone has different tastes with their palate.
Definitely.
Palate is a homonym for like painter's palate, but also palate on your tongue, right?
Yes,
Like
definitely.
your favorite wine right now is like you're really enjoying drinking Josh, right?
Yes.
Like that's not my
Well,
favorite
this
wine.
is winning, but
and that's
yeah.
Prisoner.
This is our
Yes,
debate.
drink it, buy
This is
it,
our-
everyone. No, I mean it's just my favorite wine is not your favorite wine, and my favorite
Yeah.
wine today is definitely not my favorite wine tomorrow. Like it really.
That's the beauty of it, though,
Yeah.
right? Like
Constantly
just
changing.
Constantly changing, and that's the beauty of wine too. Enjoying it with I mean, there's so many things you could enjoy it with, you know.
painting,
Yeah, hands down.
driving. I'm just joking.
No.
And I love when you were talking about the artwork and Pablo Picasso and how the history all relates to the wine. It's like you're drinking history.
It's art in a glass, and you know every single bottle. So every single bottle is going to be different, right? Like Prisoner, this bottle could be different than another bottle that we find at the store, whether it be shipping, unfortunately, if it wasn't brought over and taken care correctly at the store. But wine is a living thing. So even this bottle alone, like one of these bottles, will be different if we had opened it tomorrow, if we haven't poured it out in a decanter. Like it really is. If we let it sit for an hour or two, like the amount that it will change is, and the amount that we perceive it as change. Like if you had a bad day, what did you eat before? Is it hot or cold in here? Right now it's a little hot, right? Like it's wine is fucking magic. It really is.
Yeah.
Magic in a bottle.
It's like a song, magic in a no, let's not go there.
You know, Hali'a wrote our jingle, right?
I love music. So you'll talk about wine, I'll talk about music, we all have our things, our passions.
What kind of music do you like listening to?
Oh, everything. Like you, Hawaiian contemporary. I kind of have a worldwide view, so I love listening to every single culture. I mean, I'll even listen to Latin music.
Oh, beautiful.
And a lot of pop. I think I have more of a pop voice, so I like a lot of pop. Ariana Grande's album just dropped, and I've been listening to that constantly. So just, everything. And relating it to wine, I think just having that broad perspective, open mind about different cultures and where things are from, you can appreciate in a different way.
Well, I do apologize. Actually, I don't, because we had such a great time today. Unfortunately, Danielle did not get to finish her painting, but that's okay. I think the conversation was worth the while. Big mahalo to Danielle Groff. You
Thank you,
can
Danielle.
go onto her social media, Danielle Groff Art, and then your other Instagram handle is
Oh, Paint Your Paradise.
Paint Your Paradise.
Yes.
Be sure to follow her.
Thank
A
you.
special thank you to Windows Hawaii and also the Honolulu Star Advertiser.
And Saks, right?
Oh, and
Look
Saks.
at this.
Did you?
This is the nicest pair of jeans I've
We
ever
went
owned.
with
Like legit.
the most artistic
Yep.
flowers color.
We chose the right colors for your painting.
Yeah, we did.
All right, guys. See you later.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Talk about